Well, good evening, guys. Good evening, guys, and welcome to a new to the point. It's been a while. We had our short summer break. Obviously, we're just sharing it across the mediums of social media, and we will get on with the show. Good evening, Susan. You're back, Chris. I've been missing you, mate. Thank you very much. Anywhere to watch the darts? Yes, we will be. Well, we will endeavour to stream it. It's going to be streamed on Bar 501 YouTube, Facebook page anyway. But we're having a few technical issues right now. But hopefully those will be dealt with sooner rather than later. He says with absolutely no confidence. Good evening, Ellis. Good evening, Emmett. Good evening, Charlie. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Killian, is that the right pronunciation? Good evening, Graham. Yeah, it's good to be back. Thank you for all those that sent those lovely messages about my mother. That was one of the main reasons why we were out of action. I was having to spend a lot of time in Bristol. Hopefully now the show will be back with some regularity. As I've said, we plan 8 o'clock to go live with the Iplaster Bar 501 Premier League. 4 matches this evening. A little bit more about that later. Like I said, I'm just going to wait for the room to fill. I don't want to start without anybody. And like I said, we will then get on with the show. And no better place to start than letting you all know issue 4 of dartsplanet.tv, the magazine, is now available. Stock is running low, unfortunately, so if you haven't got yours yet, make sure you get a move on. All the links from where you can find the magazine will be on the page shortly. I've got my copy. It is wonderful. Once again, thank you very much to all of our writers. It's a real good read. And of course, we had our first tournament just last month up in Norwich, the Rileys in Norwich. Thanks to all of our sponsors. We had many of them, many board sponsors. But a special shout out to Rileys and Winmount, who are making all this possible. And congratulations, of course, to our first winner, Leighton Bennett, and did it in some style, knocking in a 9-dart finish in the semi-final. Beat Nathan Derry in the final, who beat me second round 4-3, but a really enjoyable day. Great to meet so many supporters of Darts Planet, not only the website, of course, but the magazine as well. And thank you to all the team that looked after you all day. It was a really, really good tournament and really, really enjoyable. But here's a quick look at the magazine. Here's my copy. It took me, I've been reading it hours and I'm not even anywhere near halfway through it. Some great content. Only £2.50, of course. Okay, let's get on with the show, and we're going to have a look back just last weekend to the World Cup of Darts. I have to say, I'm not the biggest fan in the world of the singles part of the format, but this year it really didn't disappoint. Really, really enjoyable. Plenty of shocks. Thank you very much, Susan. I try my best. Yeah, plenty of shocks, but in the end, they looked the winners pretty much from the very first game, and that was Scotland. Gary Anderson and Peter Wright beating the Republic of Ireland duo of Willie O'Connor and Steve Lennon, who threw some fabulous darts. But it all kicked off on the Friday with USA dominating China, 5 legs to 1. A good performance by the USA duo, 79 average, but comprehensive win. And I thought Italy were fabulous. They were second up. Italy against Canada is one of the highest quality matches I think I've ever seen Italy play. They were just pipped 5-3 by Canada. Canada averaging 97 and Italy 95-47. It really was a great match. Then Poland took care of the Czech Republic. Ireland dominated Greece 5-1. England involved in what Wayne Mardell thought could be a potential banana skin. Alas, it wasn't. I didn't fancy it myself, but a 5-1 win for Rob Cross and Michael Smith. Austria next against Russia, another really good game. In fact, the Russians averaged 95 to Austria's 92. Then Australia against Finland. Never looked convincing for me. The Australian duo. They went through 5-4 against Finland. And then the Netherlands dominated Spain 5-0. I thought that might have been a bit of a tricky affair, but I certainly expected them to get a few legs. And then we went to the Saturday. Some good individual performances. Cody Harris, he won 4-0. Devon Peterson, what a wonderful performance from both, in fact. He won 4-0 in his singles match. Averaged 101.9. Puha averaged 97.11. Then Asada took care of Paul Lim in that match, 4-3. Miramatsu completing the job. He won 4-2. Then it was the Scottish pair and Gary Anderson, 97 average. Magnus Carris really disappointing, averaging only 69. And of course that was his final match, announced his retirement. Wish him all the best for the future. Been around a long time. Yeah, Peter Wright finished the job. Only averaged 90 to Dennis Nielsen's 83. And then it was Belgium against Germany. Kim Huybrechts up against Schindler. They took a bit of a gamble in this one. But Kim Huybrechts eventually got the job done, winning 4-3. And then Dimitri did a number on Max Hopp. 88 average for Dimitri, only 76 for Max. Far from the Finnish article. When he's on, he's on. Doesn't have a B game. Then it was Canada against Australia. The individual matches there. Dawson Michelle 4-3 against Whitlock. And Jim Long replicating that against Kyle Anderson. 4-3, only 81 average for Kyle Anderson. And 86 average for Whitlock. But they went down at 2-0. And Lurchbacker took care of Darren Young and Mensasilovic. Smashed Chuck Puelo. 113.43 average. Nothing he could do about that. And that was the end of the Americans' interest. Then it was England up against Ireland. Steve Lennon beat Michael Smith. And you have to say, a bit of a disappointing Michael Smith. Only averaged 90. We expect so much more from him. But Steve Lennon got the job done. And then Willie O'Connor popped up. And this was a thriller. Rob Cross, 106.62 average. William O'Connor, a wonderful 115.1, and if it weren't for a few missed darts at double 16, he would have had the record. And then it was the Netherlands up against Poland. MVG beat Ratajski. 96 average for Michael, 95 average for Ratajski. And then Watamina got the job done against Titus Kanek, winning 4-1. Only an 87 average. For me, they didn't look like they were going to win it. I have to say, the Netherlands, never convincing at all. Sunday, first up, it was Ireland against Austria. And some really good individual performances. Cody Harris went down to Asada. Muramatsu took care of Puha, 4-3. 85 average for Muramatsu. Then it was Scotland against Belgium. Again, Gary Anderson looking rock solid, as is Kim Huybrechts. I've been saying it for a while. He's been playing okay. He's just not been getting the results. He averaged 99.99 against Anderson. Went down 4-2. Gary Anderson, 100 average. And then Peter Wright found his mojo, as did Dimitri. 110.29 average for Peter Wright. 103.54 for Dimitri. Just wasn't enough. He went down 4-2. As I said, Lennon against Lurchbacher. Republic of Ireland against Austria. Lennon winning that one 4-1. Mensa Sulovic, another good performance, 97 average. Disappointing from Willie in that one. He went down 4-0. As we know, they made up for that in the pairs, winning 4-0. Sulovic and Lurchbacher only averaged 78 in that one. And of course, the Dutch versus the Canadians went to a doubles match, and that was Watamina and Van Gerwen winning that one 4-1, averaging 95. Another good performance for a doubles match. But the big shock was the Republic of Ireland. That went down to the wire, and it was Steve Lennon and Willie O'Connor averaging 100.2, one of the best games of pairs you will see, and they smashed the Netherlands 4-0. Again, some wonderful performances. And of course, the Scottish duo, runners-up on 2 occasions, lifted the £70,000 top prize. I think they were pretty much a shoo-in for the Grand Slam, of course, but a bonus in defeat for O'Connor and Lennon is a place in the Grand Slam. Gary Anderson said he was over the moon, as he was to play with Gary, who he believes is, when he's on it, is the best player in the planet, and it was a real honour. In the final, Scotland won 3-1. Singles 1 was Gary Anderson against Steve Lennon. Lennon winning that one 4-2. Second rubber, Peter Wright against William O'Connor. Peter Wright 4-2. Then it went to the doubles match. Scotland dominated 4-0. And then Peter Wright against Steve Lennon. Peter Wright getting the win. A relieved Gary Anderson. He certainly didn't want to go and play the fourth singles match. But as I said, massive congratulations to the Scottish pair. A wonderful performance. But we'll have a little discussion with that. You got any kind of questions or any comments? Make sure you use the chat facility on YouTube, and we'll try and get through as many questions as possible. as I said, we're working on a few tech issues, but we're hoping to bring you the darts from Bristol at 8 o'clock. I will still be doing the commentary on it, but it won't be on our channel if we can't get over a few hiccups. But it goes live at 8 o'clock, and as I said, it will be over on Bar 501's Facebook channel. But I know a Facebook page. I know a lot of you don't have Facebook, so you've been unable to watch it. So we're going to give you the opportunity to be able to watch it on YouTube. So I'll have a little scroll on some of your questions and comments. Evening Gary, evening Lee. Thoughts on the World Cup? More doubles matches, or you like the format now? I hate the singles matches. I think if it's a team competition, you know, you play as a team. I think it's more exciting. I think it's a great leveler. You see more upsets as a rule when it comes down to the doubles matches. And I just think it's better viewing. I think it's more enjoyable, and the general consensus from people that watch it, they enjoy it more. They enjoy the pairs more, but each to their own. I think for a one-off event, I think we see enough singles matches, don't we? Especially leg play. Maybe do the doubles matches in the set format, just to spice it up a little bit. But like I said, each to their own. Ellis Holyhead, am I still having a go in the UK Open qualifiers? Absolutely. Evening. You like the branding? Thank you very much. PDC Wales, of course. Emmett, have I got the right Facebook page, which is based in Bristol? That's the one. There will be links going up anyway. Gotta love Jibs MK. Your magazine arrived in the post today. Great read. Thank you very much. Thank you for the support. Philip Emerson. Chris, you think Gary Anderson will come back stronger after his back problem? Well, the one thing I did notice, which is really important to, if you sort of follow the game like I do, he always had a problem where his first start was low, and that was a sign that there was a problem within the shoulder. Maybe sometimes would slightly try and compensate by over pitching, but his first start when he was on it was absolutely superb. High in the 60 and his adjustment down, he looked brilliant to me. He looked as well as he's looked for a long time. I think as long as he continues with the physiotherapy and his current mindset, he's going to go close in majors, that's for sure. MVG wasn't at his best this year. Jermaine was helping him a lot until he needed to. But they didn't look convincing from the start, to be honest. Real disaster. Forgot to back Ireland at 66-1. That would have been a nice each-way punt, mate. Fair play. Gavin says, I think players need to be smart and plan which tournaments they play in. The calendar is so busy now. I think it's done Anderson the world of good. Will be awesome for the rest of the year, I think. Crispy Booze, good evening. CB 2002, good evening to you. Susan Roberts agrees with Gav. And do you think Devon Peters should be in the Premier League? And Paul Lim? No. Martin Lee agrees. Do Anderson some good. Magnus Carus almost beat Bobby George for a place in the final of the 1994 BDO World Championships. That's correct, Charlie. And that was the match when Bobby celebrated that he broke his back. And of course, John Park went on to win it, playing absolutely ordinary. Phil Lindsay, I'm like you, I'm not a fan of singles. Mark Lee, think the World Cup is getting better each year. Well, the standard's going up because All the other countries are starting to catch up. They're all seeming to produce at least one quality player, and it's making it more interesting. England was unlucky with the 2 ball bounce outs. Yeah, they were far from convincing. I don't think Michael Smith's quite got his mojo back yet. Real disaster. Adrian Lewis and Rob Cross should be the England's next team. Well, it's top 2 in the rankings. So if you're good enough, then you'll be in. But let's not go on about the rankings because they're not great. I will give you a list of players tonight. Not that I'm sure, unless you're from Bristol, you probably wouldn't know them anyway. Shane Atkins, sorry to hear the sad news, Mace. Thank you very much, pal. Graham Foskey, your view on MVG going for ball when 50 needed, disrespectful. It tends to leave a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth. Not unless it's for a 10 dart or something like that, or the other team wants 300 or in its last leg of the match. I'm not sure. Philip Lindsay, how about 1001 in the doubles? The problem with playing the 1001, if it's not particularly competitive, you could end up having a pairing back on 500 and the leg's dead. Where with 501, you just never know. Charlie the Boss Grey, Chris, just want to say again, thank you for signing my purple dart shirt. Pleasure, mate. I think the Netherlands got lucky in many matches this year to come through. Crispy Booze, you look so small, mate. Well, this is the important bit, the branding. Gary Broughton, I've heard rumours that Phil Taylor is coming back for a TV tournament. Do you know if there's any truth in it? And which, no, there's no truth in it. Lunix25, nice to see Bristol on the map for darts. Could we get a shout out for the Hambrook Sports Club darts team in South Gloucester League? Up the Hambrook, good luck, lads. All the best for the rest of the season. Good viewing, Chris. Looking forward to watching the Premier League tonight. Be good to see the standard on show. Hope you're all okay. I'm perfect. Oh, hello, Steve. How are you, mate? Yeah, it's a great idea. It was an idea of Steve Brown, and Steve Brown, not necessarily, you may not know, but Steve Brown and Mark Durbridge are co-owners of the Bar 501, and there's just not that many opportunities to play longer leg darts. So it's he put together 10 players that could commit to the whole Premier League in the season, and all of a decent standard. Week 1 they were it was slightly nerve-wracking. Week 1. I'll actually give you a rundown of the results so far. Week 1, John Brown beat Paul Smith 5-4. Mike Norton just edged out Steve Brown. Steve Brown averaging over 90. Mike Norton just under. Tom Lonsdale 5-3 against Wayne Thomas. Gary Harding beat George Gardner 5-3. Darren Davis had a bit of a nightmare. He went down 5-2 to Ryan Palmer. Gary Harden beat Darren Davis last week. Mike Norton went down, lost. I think he broke or lost his glasses, and he lost 5-4. He had a nightmare. John Brown went down to Ryan Palmer 5-3. Good match though, that one. Both of them averaging around about 29 per dart, of course. George Gardner beat Paul Smith 5-1, and Steve Brown beat Tom Lonsdale 5-3. I do have the tables. The table at the moment: Gary Harding is top, played 2-1-2. Ryan Palmer the same, played 2-1-2. Steve Brown played 2-1-1 and lost 1. He's in third spot. Mike Norton 4. George Gardner 5. Tom Lonsdale 6. John Brown 7. Wayne Thomas 8. Paul Smith 9. Darren Davis 10th. Joint top, of course, Gary Harding and Ryan Palmer played 2-1-2. So yeah, it's competitive. It's good viewing. It's interesting. Gives you an idea of sort of decent league standard. All these guys have played county and played tournaments. Of course, remember Mike Norton? He had darts to beat Raymond van Barneveld in the UK Open. Martin Lee, who do you fancy for Blackpool? Anderson should be a good bet. Man, I don't think he'd be a good price, but I fancy him to have a good go at defending the title. Emmett, oh, I thought it was the one Bennett was in that you were streaming. Not sure what that's about. We will be streaming live our 2 tournaments that are coming up in the next few months. Chris B. Booze, what's going on with Cadby, and can he still make the World Championships? Yeah, absolutely, he's fine. He's just, listen, he's been out of the game for a year. You know, it takes a while. It'll take him a while to find his feet and just get used to the standard, but trust me, he'll be back. Dart Locker, absolutely fantastic idea for the Premier League in a local venue. I'm sure it will grow and more players will want in. I reckon qualifiers will be next time round. Yeah, I think he's got lots of plans for it. Yeah, there's loads of things in the pipeline. A school of darts, and then Steve Brown's come up with a great idea for white collar darts, 2 teams. I captain one and train them, and Steve captains the other and train them. And again, we're going to do that live. Now the equipment is improved so much, and technology, it should be good. Louise Fine, how do you see the stereotype of the game evolving? I think you mean players changing the image and the culture. Yeah, it has changed. It's changed a lot already. Yeah, it's looking good. I mean, got kids like Leighton Bennett, 13 years of age, hitting 9 darters and 100 averages, and then in fact there's a conveyor belt of them in the JDC. It's just frightening, absolutely scary. Right, guys, like I said, it was just going to be a quick show just to let you all know that LMH games, are the games on at 8 tonight? Yes, they are. Yeah, just to let you know, we're back. Just a quick show looking back at last week's World Cup, and of course, just letting you know about the Iplaster Bar 501 Premier League this evening. Like I said, we're just going to do a little bit of testing, so we're going to go off air now for half an hour and make sure we get everything working. The tech team are pulling their hair out, I should imagine. CB 2002, do we have qualification spots for the for the PDC World Darts Championship filled already? No, not yet, mate. Long way off. Pass on to Wayne Thomas. Chris Lloyd is after your top spot in South Gloucester Dart League. Only 2 weeks away from Hambrook versus Farmhouse from Lewis Nixon. Okie dokie. Gary Anderson, 9-1, nice. Right, guys, thank you again for tuning in. We're just, like I say, quick show, bit of testing. But we will announce when we were back. We're probably going to go back to going on Monday nights because it just sort of fits in better. And then we can review the action from the weekends. And of course, when the Euro Tour's on, a lot of people want to watch that and not watch the show. Or they do watch the show, but they tend to then, they don't watch it live. But take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Don't forget, Bar 501 Facebook page, or here, as long as we can get it to work. It'll be at 8 o'clock. All the best, guys. Take care.